Peace to everybody, back with another video. This is a statement from the press secretary regarding executive grant of clemency for Roger Stone Jr. Yes, Roger Stone is finally free at last. He is not going to be reporting to prison at all this time. So Donald Trump has made sure that Roger Stone Jr. was free today. Today, President Donald J. Trump signed an executive grant of clemency, commuting the unjust sentence of Roger Stone Jr. Yes, so Donald Trump has signed an executive grant of clemency, commuting the unjust sentence of Roger Stone Jr. today, so that's a good thing that he did. Roger Stone is a victim of Russia hoax that left and its allies in the media perpetrated for years in an attempt to undermine the Trump presidency. There was never any collusion between the Trump campaign or the Trump administration with Russia. Yes, so Roger Stone was a victim of Russia hoax. And so the left, in other words, the elites, they tried to railroad him. They had railroaded him into things that he had nothing to do with. So Roger Stone was a victim of the Russia hoax, and the left and its allies in the media perpetrated for years in an attempt to undermine the Trump presidency. So, and there was never any collusion between the Trump campaign or the Trump administration with Russia. So all that hoax that Trump had connection with Russia and everything else, that was all a lie. It never happened at all. It was all a lie. Such collusion was never anything other than a fantasy of partisans unable to accept the result of the 2016 election. The collusion delusion spawned endless and factual investigations conducted at great taxpayer expense, looking for evidence that did not exist. Yeah, so there was no evidence whatsoever that Donald Trump was in collusion with Russia, because it was all a delusional lie and everything else. And of course, the left, they are jealous of Donald Trump because Donald Trump is giving America back, the Patriots back to America, back to the Patriots where it belongs, because the elites stole America from us. And of course, it's a sad shame to say that the elites are allegedly sex trafficking children from third world countries and harvesting their organs allegedly. And and this is why it's all a sad shame that it had to be like this. And of course, the taxpayers, they were spending money like crazy, and it was at great taxpayer expense, looking for evidence that did not exist. So all this yip yap saying, "Oh, Trump was in collusion with Russia and all that," no, not true at all. It was all a lie. As it became clear that these witch hunts would never bear fruit, the special counsel's office resorted to process base charges leveled at high-profile people in an attempt to manufacture the false impression of criminality lurking below the surface. Yeah, so they were trying to find everything on Donald Trump, and they couldn't find a single thing, because Donald Trump is not doing anything wrong at all. He's helping America, helping the people of America, and he's keeping out the illegal immigrants that don't belong in America. He's banned China. He doesn't even want China over here whatsoever. And of course, special counsel's office is ordered to process base charges leveled at high-profile people in an attempt to manufacture a false impression of criminality lurking below the surface. Well, they couldn't find nothing because there was nothing to connect Donald Trump to. What was there to connect him to? Nothing whatsoever. So they lied. These charges were the product of recklessness, born of frustration and malice. This is why the out-of-control Muller prosecutors, desperate for splashy headlines to compensate for a failed investigation, set their sights on Mr. Stone. Roger Stone is well known for his nearly 50 years of work as a consultant for high-profile Republican politicians, including President Ronald Reagan, Senator Bob Doyle, and many others. He is also well known for his outspoken support for Donald J. Trump and opposition to Hillary Clinton, or opposing to Hillary Clinton. So Roger Stone knew everything what was going on. He was going to spill the entire truth on everybody. He was going to spill everything out, what he knew about what was going on with the elites. And yet here they say, oh, well, Roger Stone did this and Roger Stone... No, they couldn't find nothing. It was all a lie. They lied and lied and lied, and just to get to Donald Trump saying, oh, well, Donald Trump is in collusion with Russia. No, he was not. It was all a witch hunt for nothing. And his taxpayers were spending money like crazy just to find dirt on him. And they couldn't find nothing on Donald Trump. Mr. Stone was charged by the same prosecutors from the Mueller investigation with finding evidence of collusion with Russia because no such evidence exists. However, they could not charge him for any collusion-related crime. Yeah, so they couldn't find nothing. There was no such evidence. It did not exist. It was like, oh, okay, so we're going to... What was there to exist? Nothing. They couldn't find nothing. So they did all this investigation for nothing. All these same people from the Mueller investigation. You know where Mueller's going to be going? Prison. Hello. Once they get to him. And of course, you know, with all this, yeah, okay, come on. We're gonna rail, and of course, you know, with the Obama administration, obviously, and Obama himself, oh yeah, we're gonna get Roger Stone so we can to jail so we can get to Donald Trump. Yeah, they tried it and it didn't work, so they knew. So now the elites are shaking in their boots, knowing that they couldn't find nothing on Roger Stone whatsoever, because there was no such evidence whatsoever. Instead, they charged him for his conduct during their investigation. The simple fact is that if the special counsel had not been pursuing an absolutely baseless investigation, Mr. Stone would not be facing time in prison. And of course, Roger Stone is not going to go to prison because he's free. Roger Stone is free, is a free man now. So now all these elites are going to be shaking in their boots. Oh, they did all this witch hunt for nothing on Roger Stone. What was there to get him on? Nothing. Because there was no such evidence of anything. They tried it with Donald Trump. They tried it with Roger Stone. Who knows how many other people they tried to railroad or have railroaded to get them in prison so they can get to Donald Trump. Think about it. In addition to charging Mr. Stone with alleged crimes arising solely from their own improper investigation, the Muller prosecutors also took pains to make a public and shameful spectacle of his arrest. Mr. Stone is a 67-year-old man with numerous medical conditions who had never been convicted of another crime. Yeah, so Roger Stone is 67 years old. He has numerous medical conditions, all right, and who had never been convicted of another crime. So all these alleged crimes that were supposed to take place never happened. So where were they? No place. And all these Mueller prosecutions, yeah, I say throw them in prison because they're the one that committed all these crimes. So they could say, oh, well, he did this, and no. In addition to charging Mr. Stone with alleged crimes arising solely from their own improper investigation, the Mueller prosecutors also took pains to make a public and shameful spectacle of his arrest. Yeah, they made a fool of themselves. That's what they did. They made a fool of themselves, like a bunch of idiots. They kind of figure, well, we don't care how old he is. We don't care what medical conditions he has. We're just gonna throw him in jail, and well, too late for that. It's a little too late for that. But rather than allow him to surrender himself, they used dozens of FBI agents with automatic weapons and tactical equipment, armored vehicles, and an amphibious unit to execute a pre-dawn raid of his home where he was with his wife of many years. Notably, CNN cameras were present to broadcast these events live to the world, even though they swore they were not notified. It was just a coincidence that they were there together with the FBI early in the morning. So CNN likes all this drama and all this chaos and everything. This is what CNN is about, drama. They're drama queens. Look at Lemonhead. He's a drama queen. Chris Cuomo is another drama queen. This is what CNN is about, drama. They don't care about nothing else. And the FBI, they're no better either. The FBI came with automatic weapons and tactical equipment, armored vehicles, and an unit to execute a pre-dawn raid of his home where he was with his wife of many years. So Roger Stone was home with his wife. And yet here comes the FBI, here comes CNN, to get all this, so they could say, oh, Roger Stone went to prison, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? It didn't work. So nice try, CNN. All these years, CNN has been lying on Roger Stone for something he did not do. An innocent man at that. Not only was Mr. Stone charged by overzealous prosecutors pursuing a case that never should have existed and arrested in an operation that never should have been approved, but there were also serious questions about the about the jury in the case. The forewoman of his jury, for example, concealed the fact that she is a member of the so-called liberal resistance to the Trump presidency. Is now deleted tweets. This activist juror vividly and openly attacked President Trump and his supporters. Yeah, so now you got this juror who's a woman, and she's a so-called liberal resistance to the Trump presidency. She was concealing evidence as well. So they should have. So between the FBI, FBI, and this juror, they have concealed evidence against Roger Stone. They had no evidence on Roger Stone whatsoever except to lie on him, and that was it. And this forewoman of his jury, for example, concealed the fact that she is a member of the so-called liberal resistance. So she's a liberal resistance to the Trump presidency. In now deleted tweets, this activist juror vividly and openly attacked President Trump and his supporters. So she should go to jail with the FBI. That's what she should be doing. Send her to jail for concealing of who she really is. Mr. Stone would be put at serious medical risk in prison, and I agree with that. He would have been, but he's not in prison now, is he? No. He has appealed his conviction and is seeking a new trial. He maintains his innocence and has stated that he expects to be fully exonerated by the justice system. And I hope he does get exonerated by the justice system, even though the justice system is all screwed up. You got a lot of ding-dongs that are judges that don't know what they're doing, except just send people to jail. Oh, yeah, we're going to send innocent people to jail while the criminals run around. How does that even work? How does that even work? Mr. Stone, like every American, deserves a fair trial and every opportunity to vindicate himself before the courts. The president does not wish to interfere with his efforts to do so. All right, so Donald Trump is not going to interfere with his efforts to do so. So he's going to let him have his fair trial. Like Mr. Stone, like every American, deserves a fair trial and every opportunity to vindicate himself before the courts. So Mr. Roger Stone will be spilling everything out, what the Obama administration did, because he's not going to sit up there and lie for anybody. He knew what was going on. He was a truther, and he knew what was happening. He knew what the Obama administration was about. At this time, however, and particularly in light of the egregious facts and circumstances surrounding his unfair prosecution, arrest, and trial, the president has determined to commute his sentence. Roger Stone has already suffered greatly. He was treated very unfairly, as were many others in this case. Roger Stone is now a free man. So President Trump has determined to commute his sentence. Roger Stone is now a free man, so he doesn't have to report to jail whatever day he's supposed to be reporting to jail. I think Monday or Tuesday. But he's not going to go to jail. He's a free man. And he has a right to a fair trial to vindicate himself before the courts. And of course, the president does not wish to interfere with his efforts to do so. So Donald Trump is not going to interfere in the trial, whatever the new trial is going to be, because Roger Stone is going to spell out all the details on the Obama administration, what they did to him, especially when it came to Muller, who had lied on him for no reason at all. And these crooks are getting away with everything. I mean, seriously, who does the Obama administration think they are? They're nobody except devils. They're Satanists. They like to put innocent people in jail for no reason at all, because they make up lies. They know, well, he did this, he did that. Excuse me? So Roger Stone is now a free man, finally. But who knows when the next trial, who knows when he'll get a trial. because then this is the only way he could defend himself instead of being in prison. Leave your comments below. I am out.